game for granted. We're going to have to make sure they're professional.
Been a roller coaster ride for Al Nassr in the early weeks of the new year. 3 defeats in a row knocked them off the top, but they've bounced back nicely, winning 4 straight, which has them within range of the summit once again in what could turn out to be a thrilling race for the title. No such thoughts for Al Riyadh. Success for them this season involves staying in the league, perched just above the trapdoor at the moment, and with only 2 wins all season, they nonetheless brought Al Hilal's winning run to a juddering halt in their last home match in securing a hard-fought 1-1 draw. Al Riyadh were in the 3rd tier as recently as 4 seasons ago. Their last home win over Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League was way back in September 2004. It would be quite the upset and quite the story were they to claim all 3 points in this one today. And as the players line up either side of the halfway line, the anthem will be next. Well, Al Hilal raced 7 points clear at the top recently, but 2 draws in a row has pegged them back a bit, and coupling that with Al Nassr's resurgence in form, we could have new league leaders by the time this match has finished in roughly an hour and a half's time. It should be quite a day in the Saudi Pro League, with Hilal facing Al Ahly right after this game as well. Let's take a look at the lineup, starting with the home side. Al Riyadh make 3 changes from the 1-1 draw with Al Najma. Abdullah Al-Khaibari makes only his 2nd league start of the season. Teddy Oku returns out wide, and Spanish defender Sergio Gonzalez plays for the first time since just before the last break in November. They'll miss Ibrahim Bayesh today. Top scorer Mamadou Silla and defender Amar Al-Hafi drop to the bench. The 2 captains. The referee for tonight's match, Sultan Al Turais from Saudi Arabia. And leading the team in the VAR hub, Mohammed Al Ghamdi. Cristiano Ronaldo is absent today for Al Nassr, reportedly unhappy with the transfer window. His absence is one of 2 changes from the last game against Al Khaloud, with Kingsley Coman out today as well. Ayman Yahya and Abdurrahman Garib both coming to the team. Ali Al Hassan keeps his place in midfield, having started for the first time all season last time out. Marcelo Brozovic is out once more. João Felix and Sadio Mane will effectively lead the attack. Felix has scored 13 league goals, but none in his last 7 appearances. So an interesting first season in charge so far for Jorge Jesus. There's Daniel Carreño, who took over a little while ago, and his team haven't won a match since October. One of 2 wins they've enjoyed so far this season, Al Riyadh, but for now they're keeping themselves out of the bottom 3. This might not be the match to draw them any further clear of it, but you never know. They gave a good account of themselves against Al Hilal. They were well organised, made life difficult for their opponents, hung in there, got a scruffy goal, but that didn't matter. It still counted just the same, and they managed to get a 1-1 draw. I think the big issue for them is the lack of a real big goal scorer in the team. You know, there aren't that many goals in the team, so when chances do come, teams like Al Riyadh absolutely have to take. What a lovely little touch that was into Angelo for Al Nassr, who are looking to start quickly here. Able to gain plenty of ground there.
Well, there's the immediate change from Jorge Jesus early on in the game. Garib's playing on the left-hand side and Mane up top with João Felix just behind him.
And a bit of a realisation on the near side by Saad Al Nassr. We've got an Al Nassr playing for Al Nassr and two Al Khaibaris playing for Al Riyadh. We nearly had an Al Khaibari for Al Nassr as well. He's on the bench. So there's the chance of three Al Khaibaris on the pitch as well. Saad Al Nassr sends it back via Martinez. And now Al-Ghanam.
Yeah, could just shatter that little bit of belief when you were saying about Riyadh not scoring many goals, so it puts so much pressure on the back line to try and keep clean sheets. I think what you would lean on, I think if you're Herrera, when you see the team sheets come in tonight, you'll tell your players this is not an Al Nassr side that's at full strength. And as you said before, why not go at them? Why not try? Put a bit of pressure on early doors, start the game well.
Yeah, they've been a little bit up and down in terms of the form recently. They weren't great against Al Shabab. It took a last gasp goal from Garib to win the match 3-2 recently, and I saw the 2-1 win against Damak, and they weren't overly convincing in that game, but of course got themselves over the line. But good 3 points against Al Town at home by a goal to nil. Al Town, of course, going very, very well again this season, and 3-0 winners last time. They seem to have regained their equilibrium a little bit, but it was a stunning autumn that Jesus' team had until it all just fell apart a little bit for 3 matches over the turn of the year.
Well, that was it, 4 if you include the draw against Al Ettifaq as well, so those 3 losses would have been a body blow.
That's where it started, wasn't it, the Ettifaq game, the 2-2 draw in that one. You're quite right there, John. It's Al Riyadh venturing forward. Collected in midfield by Al Tiyai. Back into Al Khaibari.
I think it gets to this point of the season when you're chasing down a title, normally managers talk about playing well, and that's the consequence of the result. I think just churn out the wins. It'll be one tonight. You might not remember it at the end of the season if they win this one. Al Nassr.
It was a lovely turn by Ismail Asoro. Not such a good ball forward towards the far side of the field. He was looking for Toze but couldn't find him. Sharp turn for João Felix.
Gonzalez plays in the middle of the park tonight for home side. They've got to make sure that they realise the positions that João Felix picks up in that pocket.
Al-Ghanam captaining Al Nassr this evening, as he does from time to time. Angelo had come short, and Mohamed Simakan will collect. Solid look about Al Nassr in that central defensive area with Mohamed Simakan, and you've got Martinez, so much experience there, the former Barcelona player. Nicely done by Angelo, support from Al Nassr.
Kit might have not really helped us for Riyadh, has he, with the numbers on the back of the shirts. They're very hard to spot. But Simakan's a player, and I think he's been one whose levels have been quite high for a long time. He's very, very consistent, really good in his duels. Really aggressive.
And there he is, right on cue. Mohamed Simakan. He's been back for a few games now. It's his 6th game back, but he did miss 4 in a row with a thigh injury in December and January. Now, what happened here?
It's like the corner. I think it came off Angelo, but I think his body was over the line.
First little bit of pressure for Roland Borjan, the goalkeeper, to deal with. The block made under the near post. Chance to break away here. This is Teddy Oku, and that's one way to bring an attack to a halt.
Well, that's what he's good at. Simakan, he can be aggressive.
Just a very good impression of a brick wall there.
Just stood his ground, yeah. Clever enough to walk away from it, so no card.
Yeah, not much joy for Oku there. coming back into the side today. Played in the last home match, wasn't involved against Al Nassr. Teddy Oku, they signed him from Lucerne in Switzerland last summer. Frenchman. Jose will be quite keen to get his hands on this, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go from goal for here. I think he'll be scanning to the left-hand side for a little diagonal clip.
Jose floats it in. Ooh, and that was a decent-looking effort. Racing up from the back, Sergio Gonzalez.
He hit the bar. Looked very, very close. It was a great volley. Great stand-up cross and instep volley. I think he caught the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, the top of the crossbar there from Gonzalez. Wow. What a goal that nearly was.
Great technique.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Gonzalez. They signed him from Leganés last summer, but he was on the bench for the last match. That's the first time he's been in the matchday squad since just before that break in November. And they played matches up to around about the 22nd of November. Then there was a month without any league action. And since then, in the very busy January schedule, hasn't been in the squad at all. But back in the team today, almost giving his team a surprise early lead here against title-chasing Al Nassr.
I thought he might have played as a holding midfield player, Gonzalez, today, but he's back in his familiar position.
You can see it's given them a bit of confidence. Worked out wide off the boot of Ismail Soro. Be covered here at the back by Gonzalez. Issue here for Abdullah Al Khaibari.
Important that the two fullbacks for Al Riyadh try and show confidence and try and get off the pitch as much as possible.
Here's the free kick again.
Oh, it's a lovely free kick, but it was flighted really well. Terrific volley.
Does rather look as if they've sort of changed their shape a little bit here, Don, doesn't it, with Barbet, Gonzalez and Mohammed Al Khaibari as a three at the back, with Osama Al Fawadi as a right wing back and Abdullah Al Khaibari playing as a left wing back. Yeah, they were quite a long way forward there.
They were, and I think that will change in game. I think because Gonzalez is a good footballer, he'll step into midfield and try and get on the ball, but when they haven't got the ball, he'll retreat back into the three.
This is Sultan Harun, who's a really promising young forward. He's only made his debut about a month ago and he's scored a couple of goals already. Harun getting the nod ahead of Mamadou Sylla, the Senegalese forward, who has scored 6 goals this season, Sylla, but he hasn't found the back of the net since late December, and he's found himself out of the team today. He's on the bench. Jose. Nicely done. Sultan Harun making a move into the middle, waiting on the 18-yard line. Back here with Johan Barbet.
A little bit of a flat start from Al Nassr. Shy of 10 minutes.
Bento back in goal, 5th match in a row for him. He was very much the cup keeper for the first half of the season. They were more or less the only games he played in, and Nawaf Al-Akidi was the first choice, but Al-Akidi suspended recently after his red card against Al Hilal, and this is his 3rd game on the bench since his return. Bento has done well, the Brazilian international. It's with Al Bawadi. Easily intercepted by Martinez, who takes a whack. First kick, first yellow card for the first kick of the game for him.
A bit harsh. Soro. Yeah, it feels a little bit harsh. I think the smile on his face will tell you that. First tackle in the game inside 10 minutes. Definite foul, but I still think the card's a bit harsh. I guess That's the hard part for Al.
There is that possibility, of course, if they win this match, and Al Hilal slip up again. Should I say lose for the first time this season?
So they have to be Al Nassr ultra professional tonight. Concentrate on matters on the pitch, get the job done.
Playing another of the heavyweight clubs next, actually, Al Nassr. Next game's on Friday. They're at home to last season's champions, Al Ittihad. Firmly struck that ball forward there from Angelo. And behind and for a goal kick, and Sergio Gonzalez has made a very confident and bright start to the match at both ends of the field.
I like him. I think he's a good player. Shows calm when he's in possession of the ball.
Tough one this for Al Riyadh, though. They're up against a team who've scored more goals than anybody else in the whole league. Team with the most shots on goal as well. Very attack-minded side. Al Nassr, 48 goals they've scored this season in their 18 matches.
2.7 a game.
Certainly a few more than Al Riyadh. They have managed 18, 10 at home in 9 matches in front of the home crowd. And Al Nassr tidies up nicely. Bags of room here for Martinez. That's Al Ghanam over on the far side. He's got Ayman Yahya for company just ahead of him. Mane Max makes the darting run. Gonzalez across to try to cover. João Felix and Garib in the middle. It's up to Rahman Garib with the shot.
Great block. Still got that yard of pace, hasn't he?
Well, they're doing their best to get the atmosphere going. A stadium that holds 22,500, clearly some way short of capacity today. But Al Nassr fans in Riyadh haven't had too far to travel for this one. That fell rather kindly at the feet of Abdullah Al-Khaibari. Good play from him. Flag stays down and Bento forced to make a save, and then they all look across. But again, some attacking intent from Al Riyadh. Wouldn't have counted on this occasion.
Must have been tight though. Trying to arc his run, he's just off.
It's just ahead of Saad Al Nassr. But Sultan Haroun is certainly a player to watch up front for Al Riyadh. 19 years of age, scored in the last game. He secured the 1-1 draw with Al Najma. And relief for the home crowd that he's back on his feet. Got his first goal as well recently against Al Oqdoud. Only made his debut on the 10th of January and has now played in 6 of the last 7 since.
Yeah, I like the positions that he picks up, Haroun. He starts through the middle, but he sort of veers off to that left-hand side.
Here's Garib. Chance to have a run at Khaibari. Lovely flick there from João Felix. Easy for 38-year-old goalkeeper of Al Riyadh, Milan Borjan.
He apologises there for João Felix, because that was a chance. Just overhit.
Ali Al Hassan sending it forward. João Felix had made the run. Opportunity to work it clear, but loosen at the feet of Sadio Mane. João Felix, and still Barbet for company. And Borjan gets his paws on the ball, the former Canadian international goalkeeper.
There's lovely feet in the build-up there from João Felix.
awarded a free kick. Referee Khalid Al Turaish not interested in that. Al Ghanam sending it back in. Ali Al Hassan, Angelo, here's Simakan, Garib, Riyadh Al Nassr available near side.
Loose from Angelo, that pass.
And just a little bit on the long side there, the ball forward from Teddy Oku.
Yeah, I think Al Nassr will have a lot of territory in this game, but when they work it into the final third, just got to speed up their play, positions like this.
Yaya waiting patiently over on the far side of the field. Wins the corner.
Yeah, just came off Barbet. Just have to make sure your hands are down by your side there, the centre back. And that shot's coming in when you're inside your own 18-yard box.
Martinez coming up for this one from the back. It's the one goal for him since his arrival in the Roshn Saudi League.
Strong defended.
Shot from ref cam there. Martinez looking to cause a nuisance in the other boxes. Angelo takes the corner. Simakan. And the improvised effort from Sadio Mane.
Unlucky. Right technique to go for. Ball was just bouncing in front of Mane. Just got to make sure from this corner you win first contact, keep it alive. Simakan done that, and he went for the right finish. There, Mane.
It was a bit of a shame actually when the initial ball came over that Martinez got to it, because João Felix was right behind him in a good position.
Yeah, that's where you need to communicate to Martinez. He would have been favourite there, Felix.
Third game back since the Africa Cup of Nations for Sadio Mane today. Missed 7 in the league because of the international commitments. João Felix trying to craft that pass towards Abdulrahman Garib. Barbet tidying up at the back, a little bit of pressure on Boyan, the goalkeeper.
He's not found his radar so far, João Felix, but he can't be given that much room in that little pocket. Every time he picks it up, he's looking for Garib or Mane.
Ayman Yaya trying to feed it through. Here's Mane. Wants a penalty. Ref was in a great position there to see what was unfolding before him.
Yeah, I think he took a tiny bit of contact there, Mane, but it never looked like a penalty.
Didn't look like there was any way through either, did there? About 5 of them standing around him. Here's Martinez.
Sloppy.
Yeah, that was poor from Ali Al Hassan, was just caught out. Oku looking for Harun. Again it breaks down for Al Riyadh. Here's Garib.
I think Al Hassan and Angelo have been a little bit sloppy in the middle of the park so far.
Garib.
I'm not sure Al Riyadh have spotted the danger of João Felix in terms of the positions that he's picking up. That was a bit wild from Simakan. Not sure you're scoring from 40 yards.
Coach Jesus didn't look terribly impressed with that, did he?
Unless that flies in the top corner, he ain't going to be impressed there. But keep an eye on João Felix when the game's underway, picking up some very good positions.
Here's Mane. I was hoping that Ayman Yaya had made that run. So 20 minutes in, and not a great deal to report so far in terms of goal-scoring opportunities at either end of the field.
Yeah, I think Jorge Jesus will be a little bit frustrated. At the same time, I think there's obviously gears they can go through, and what I'm seeing from João Felix, he's picking up some really good positions. So if they stay patient, work the ball a bit quicker, but get it into his feet, he's the man that's going to start everything off for them.
Well, here goes Toze. Toze sending it in, and Sultan Haroun was nearly there. That was a very timely interception indeed by Martinez. Excellent breakaway there from Al Riyadh, and Martinez was there covering the ground at the expense of a corner kick. And the header from Gonzalez. Not close to going underneath the crossbar on this occasion.
Chance though. Chance if he can keep it down.
So, reaching the midway point of the first half, and frustration there for Garib. Seemed the more he chased after that ball, the faster it went as it headed towards the touchline.
I feel as though the Al Nassr players just have to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, 9-time champions of Saudi Arabia, not since 2019, Al Nassr. Last 4 seasons, 2 second places, 2 third places. They've been close, but is this going to be their year? It looked great throughout the autumn from their point of view. They're not so good over New Year, but now they're in it a bit more than it looked as if they were going to be. It looked as if, I mean, Al Hilal suddenly went from 4 points behind to 7 ahead, but even they've dropped points in the last 2 matches.
Well, I think it's funny, that look from Jorge Jesus there. You wouldn't know if his team are drawing 0-0 or winning 5-0.
Because he does look like that when they're 5-up.
He's impossible to read. He sets high standards.
Ali Al Hassan away to the far side. This is Ayman Yahya. Decent looking ball in, and João Felix almost on the end of it. Boyan getting a fist to the ball. Saad Al Nassr now trying to get away from Al Khaibari. That's Mohammed Al Khaibari.
Boyan's had a busy start to the game, and he's playing well in goal.
They've certainly got a solid goalkeeper in there. Might be tested here, maybe not.
That's the pocket though, that's the pocket that he does like to pick up there, João Felix.
Yeah, bags of experience in goal for Al Riyadh. I mentioned Boyan. 80 caps for Canada in his career on the international stage. They signed him from Red Star a couple of years ago. Svena Zvezda. And a very handy player to have as your last line of defence. This is Mohamed Simakan. No real attacking pizzazz from Al Nassr so far in the opening quarter of the game. It's chased here by Angelo, and Sergio Gonzalez was there first. Comfortably dealing with that. Al Nassr bringing it to the near side.
Well, what will give Al Nassr confidence in the game is Al Riyadh don't look like they're scoring. So you can keep the ball as long as you improve in midfield, improve at the top end of the pitch. They should be okay, but it's not been a good start.
That was the problem for Al Riyadh in the Al Hilal game. They defended well, they looked fine until they got over the halfway line. As soon as they got anywhere near the final third, it all just fizzled out because they didn't really
believe. It's 2 things, it's belief and quality.
Al Hassan. Sadio Mane waits in the middle.
The test will come if Al Nassr score, then the belief will dwindle that little bit more from an Al Riyadh point of view. Got to keep the game at 0-0.
Martinez. A little bit short, and it's been won back. Osama Al Bawadi. trying to feed it inside into Soro, and Al Bawadi has it once more. Interception made by João Felix, who now has the free kick. So Toze penalised.
Crunching tackle.
Upending, I think that's upending João Felix, who's back on the ball now. Three draws in a row for Al Riyadh before today. 2-2 away to Al Uqdoud, the 1-1 game at home to Al Hilal, and 1-1 away to the bottom side Al Nassr in their last outing, but slowly collecting a few points to currently keep them above the bottom three. It's the third season in a row in the Saudi Pro League for Al Riyadh, not one of the bigger teams in terms of resources. It was only 4 seasons ago they were in the third tier. They were runners-up that season, came up, had 1 season in the first division, but that was when the Saudi Pro League was expanded after that, so they won promotion at the first attempt from the second tier, but they were only 4th. They didn't come up as champions or anything like that, and they finished 14th and 11th in their 2 seasons in the top flight so far.
Well, they will be aware if they can try and take something from the game tonight. It'd be a real positive if they don't, and then Damak play Al Khaloud tomorrow. They could drop into the bottom 3.
Ball won back by Mane. This is Al Hassan into Felix.
Needs a runner. He needs a runner, João Felix. When he gets the ball there, he needs someone in front of him to make a run.
Looking for Garib. All hands on deck, tidied up by Ahmed Al-Siai. Back with Angelo. He's trying to up the pace a little bit here as we head towards the half-hour mark. This is Al-Ghanam. Mane dropping back a little, keeping it away from the close attentions of Al-Siahi.
The trouble is, when Sadio Mane made that run out wide and went to the byline there was hardly anyone in the box.
The pressure on Abdullah Al-Khaibari. Barbet. It's going to be a corner conceded by the Frenchman. He spent a lot of his career in England, actually. They signed him from Bordeaux, but Johan Barbet spent plenty of his career in England with Brentford and with Queen's Park Rangers. 32 years of age now.
Those two will be the targets, I'd imagine, Simikan and Martinez.
A purposeful stride from Martinez. He's looking for probably his second goal for the club. Got one very early in the season. Angelo.
Wasted. I mean, absolutely wasted it. João Felix can't keep that in. I mean, from a corner, how's that happened?
He looks pretty frustrated with it too.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, Angelo had a corner, dead ball, just put it in the box, centre-backs are up there. He played a short one, 2v2. Normally you'd play that if it was a 2v1, but wasted.
They don't really look a very happy bunch, do they, so far?
Yeah, without going too deep into it, I think that might have something to do with what's happening off the pitch. That's why the players on the pitch have to be professional. Looking a little bit sorry for themselves, some of the Al Nassr players. He won't be happy.
Simikan with the header. That's Sultan Harun slipped over there. No foul on him. Gonzalez. But when you think of it, Al Riyadh right near the bottom of the table, they have, for the most part, limited goal-scoring opportunities for Al Nassr in this opening half an hour, which they were pretty good at doing against Al Hilal as well.
That's been a decent start. Half an hour in, clean sheet.
And again, Ismaila Soro's pass doesn't find its intended target. He did the first bit well. He's done that a couple of times in this opening half an hour. He won the ball well, beat the first man, but then hasn't managed to find a teammate with the pass.
think the home side have got to set sort of mini targets, i.e. first half an hour clean sheet, that one's passed, can you get to half time?
Simakan. Well, you're playing a team with the attacking quality of Al Nassr, 15 minutes to half time. Well, a lot can happen, and Angelo now is to apply the pressure back to João Felix. Again, it's a comfortable save in the end for Milan Borja.
I think he's just checking the turf there, João Felix, and might have took a little bobble on him, because it wasn't a clean strike. Tiny one.
I think he just didn't hit it very well, did he? Let's be honest.
I think there's a little bobble in there, I think.
The fabric of the pitch looks like a billiard table. And Simakan challenging and putting it out of play.
But that mini move there just tells you if they can't up the tempo, Al Nassr, they'll get chances in the game. It's just been a little bit slow for his liking.
Al Riyadh have won only once in 7 home league matches against Al Nassr since 2001. Obviously they've not been in the top tier that much, so that's why they haven't had many matches. They're going to have to backpedal pretty rapidly here. As Mane feeds it away to Sultan Al Ghanam. Garib's in the middle, heading to the far post. Here is João Felix, and a really important header away, and it's Barbet.
Brilliant defending, you know, Barbet, because he recognised the danger. He's seen João Felix to his left-hand side, and the ball was drilled across to João Felix. A really good covering defending there from the centre-back. Great anticipation of the danger.
It was a decent ball, wasn't it? It was heading straight for João Felix. Easy catch for Borjan.
Good goalkeeping, but not good delivery from João Felix.
Barbet away, sending it forward to Abdullah Al-Khaibari.
Well, you wonder now, the home side, because they've kept a clean sheet for 30 odd minutes, can they be a bit more adventurous going forward? Situations like this might help if they take a long free kick, pump it inside the Al Nassr 18-yard box. I think go long, they might try and play it short. I think go long, get the centre-backs up there. I'm not sure what to do. Give the ball away.
Yeah, it's a familiar theme.
That should be pretty basic, you know, you get a free kick on the halfway line. Pretty basic for someone to take command of that situation. Barbet, Khaibari, get yourself up there. Gonzalez, go and get in the box.
Al-Siai and João Felix just exchanging words as Mane bursting into the box, and Borjan again swiftly off his line. Flag up for that one, I think.
Yeah, might have just went a bit early there, Mane. Bit faultless, so Borjan.
They've restricted the number of goals they've conceded recently. He's only conceded one in each of the last 2 matches. 13 goals in the league for João Felix. He was the top scorer in the league for a little while. That's no longer the case. Ivan Toney of Al Ahly is the top scorer now. He's got 18, one clear of Ronaldo and Julian Quiñones of Al Qadisiyah. They've both got 17. Roger Martinez on 14 as well.
He went through a really hot streak, didn't he? João Felix couldn't stop scoring. Well, it was 1s, 2s, hat-tricks.
First little testing phase for him since his move, isn't it, at the moment? Little mini drought.
I think the conversation I would have if I was João Felix to Sadio Mane, I'd say to Mane, stay up front, just go and occupy the centre-backs. When I get it in the pocket, I'll fire it into your feet, I'll try and find you. Instead of both of them coming short.
Here goes Angelo. to João Felix.
So he's looking for that forward pass.
Of Angelo. This is Ali Al Hassan and Simakan, and it breaks down again. Ismail Asoro working it away.
Done really well.
Al Bawadi. They're battling well, Al Riyadh, and Garib concedes a free kick.
Well, Soro started that because the work he done in a tight space over on the left-hand side, he done really well to wriggle out of that situation and then set Al Riyadh off on the attack. Now they're going to put it in the box.
Yeah, they're going to try and hope that Sultan Haroun maybe, or Babet from the back, and get on the end of it, and it's just too close to Bento.
I think it's the wrong technique there from Toze. You just got to try and drive it in instead of whipping it towards Bento.
Here comes the counter with Angelo. Garib just drops outside the box, floated into João Felix. Bawadi is there, so is Borja. Been unduly troubled with anything that's come his way so far.
He's not even got a sweat on, but he's played well. Everything that's sort of gone into him, whether it's the air or crosses like this from João Felix low, he's dealt with it well.
Al Nassr have scored in 25 consecutive away matches, but haven't found the net in this one so far. Again, that pass over the halfway line breaks down. It happens so many times for Al Riyadh. This is Abdurrahman Garib. Loose, doesn't find Ayman Yahya. Now they're all looking across for a flag, which they wait to go up. Jose combines with Teddy Oku to put it into the back of the net. And there is the flag that everybody thought was going to come.
Yeah, that flag I think should go up a lot quicker because he is a mile offside. You can see him trying to arc his run, but the linesman's looking right across that. Just put your flag up. It's not even close. Just in case there's an accidental collision or someone gets injured, I think the lino can put his flag up there.
He looks pretty disappointed there that he hasn't got his big moment against Al Nassr. Not yet, anyway.
I just give them hope though, because that back line for Al Nassr is quite high. It's understandable because they're controlling the game and they've got possession.
Saad Al Nassr into Garib.
This is where it's a little bit slow.
Into Sadio Mane, who rifles it home.
Brilliant goal. Brilliant, brilliant goal.
Lovely bit of skill from João Felix to set him up with the opportunity. And Sadio Mane pounced to fire Al Nassr into the lead.
Tight. My initial feeling is he's just onside, but it will be checked because it is tight. Well, that's the ball João Felix should be playing, and that's the conversation he should have had with Sadio Mane. Just tell Mane to get on his bike. Brilliant little clip ball. Got eyes on it, Mane. Laces volley. It's just whether he's on or offside.
It looked as though the defender on the far side of the penalty area was playing him onside, just. Sadio Mane, hoping to have scored his 7th goal of the season, subject to VAR review, which is why we're just waiting for confirmation of that. But it looked as though he was played onside and took his opportunity beautifully.
It was the run. It was the ball when I said Al Nassr were a little bit slow. It got fired into João Felix in that pocket, which he's been in all afternoon, and then that time he played it quickly over the top to Mane. Looks like the goal is going to stand.
Now Riyadh 0, Al Nassr 1. The breakthrough made by Senegalese player Sadio Mane.
Now that's the problem now for the home side. Now they've got to come out and attack. They tried to get to half-time with a clean sheet, just couldn't see it through.
That's the one real combination of quality that we've seen in the first half between Felix and Mane. That's the difference though, isn't it? Al Nassr have got players who can do things like that. But Al Riyadh, all the while it remains at 1-0, will consider themselves very much still in the game.
Yeah, when you set up with Sadio Mane, who's played up the left-hand side for an age, but really he can't play through the middle, and you've got João Felix in the 10 position, you don't want both coming short, so Felix comes short, Mane in behind. Good combination play.
Hassan will go for the return. Three minutes plus added time to the break. Here we go. Here's the call on the goal at the other end. It was disallowed, and as you can see, it was a very clear decision.
Yeah, Martinez done well there. The centre-back just holding his line. And this is the goal. Lovely ball into Felix. That time he played it quickly over the top towards Mane. Might have been Barbet, the player that played him on.
Renewed enthusiasm in the stands as well. People coming into the ground all the time, actually. So, of course, as it stands, in real time, Al Nassr, top of the league.
Yep.
Would shape things up nicely ahead of the later kick-off between Al Hilal and Al Ahly.
Absolutely, and that would have been the conversation that Jorge Jesus delivered in his team talk before the game. Win the game tonight, go top of the league.
Yeah, let everyone else worry about it. There's Felix back into Saad Al Nassr. Lovely little exchange, and Al-Bawadi got his toe in there, and Al-Siai tried to get it away.
Good tackle.
Challenge on Thursday that the referee didn't like.
I thought it was a good tackle. Hassan's got a point there.
It was pretty clear view there for our referee, Khalid Al-Turais.
But this is where I would imagine for the next couple of minutes and coming out for the second half, Al Nassr will try and get their foot down in the game. Go and get more goals.
Saad Al Nassr missed a big chunk of the season with ankle ligament damage throughout the autumn, September through to December. Established himself back in the left back role. Angelo. Mane, taken by Gareed. Space opening up here. Al Ghanam into Ayman Yahya. Plenty of yellow shirts inside the box here.
Passing so much better. It's a lot crisper.
Felix. Should be tidied up here by Abdullah Al-Khaibari. This is Toze. Collected by Sultan Haroun, who sends it forward. Simakan.
There's only one winner there. Thought on the way he's rolling around there, Simakan, he's took a bad one from Haroun across the ankle.
Let's have a look at this one again.
It's not that bad. I think it's an accident in the end. It might be slightly painful.
Oh yeah, just trod on his foot, didn't he, inadvertently.
It was the after effect, actually. Once Simikan slips, I think Haroun's trying to plant his foot. I think he's a little bit unlucky.
Did look painful though, and might have tweaked his ankle ligaments a bit, the way that his foot flipped over in the wrong direction.
I've got a funny feeling he'll be alright.
It wasn't, I mean, it was no fault of the attacking player at all.
No, can't just rock your ligaments, as you said, and you wouldn't have expected it, Simikan. When you're running and you can't brace yourself, you don't know there's tackles coming in, but he's just trying to...
Tripped over his own feet to start with, and that's what caused the problem.
It did, then Haroun was just trying to have a natural running stride, and he caught him.
Haroun gets a yellow card from the referee.
2 Al Riyadh players on yellow cards.
Yeah, Soro the other one. Clearly we're going to go some way over our minimum of 1 additional minute at the end of this half. Thoughts on the half that we've seen so far, Don? I mean, not the most inspiring opening 45 minutes from Al Nassr's point of view, when we know what they're capable of at their best.
Yeah, I think they have problem solved throughout the game.
Without Cristiano Ronaldo today, also Kingsley Coman and Marcelo Brozovic not in the team for this one. Couple of changes for them for the match today. Little discussion going on there between the referee and Teddy Oku. 1 goal in the match, Sadio Mane, 5 minutes before half-time, and next goal is going to be key, isn't it?
Well, I think the team talk from Daniel Carreno is going to be important, how he tries and gets the belief into this team who don't look like scoring, they don't score too many. They've lost a lot of territory in that first half, and I think George Jesus' men looked quite comfortable the last 15 minutes when they problem solved a bit better and got the ball into João Felix. He was looking like he was scheming, trying to play forward passes. Fantastic goal for Sadio Mane, the little ball over the top. So I expect Al Nassr to go through the gears, get their foot down in the second half and score more.
He's gone early with that scarf, hasn't he? Champions. Unless he's had it for a few years from the last time in 2019. But they've got to play as though they can believe they will be the champions again. Al Nassr, it's the big aim, of course. Been so close in recent years to a 10th Saudi League title.
Well, it's that dynamic in the team talk that George Jesus will deliver. That he's probably delivered 1,000 times over when you're winning 1-0. Early parts of the second half, don't be complacent, go and get the second goal. Then it's a long way back for the home side.
So 1-0. Sadio Mane's goal in the 40th minute. No changes made by either team at half-time, and Al Nassr, all in yellow, get onto the front foot straight away, up towards the goal scorer. Mane. The referee had a little think about that before blowing his whistle. And the challenge of, I think it was Al-Khaibari.
It was, yeah. And he volleyed the ball away. Never got the ball, but I'm not sure how much contact he got on Sadio Mane either.
Well, this is within range from Al Nassr's point of view.
Angelo might fancy it, but I think João Felix might be in the conversation. So Boyan's got to make sure he lines that wall up correctly. One's 5 in it.
He knows what he wants, the goalie, but I'm not sure he's got it yet. Yaya's got his eyes on this as well, but João Felix looks though he wants to take it, and does.
Not far away, that. Probably just a yard over the crossbar.
He just needs a goal, doesn't he, at the moment, João Felix? It's just a few matches now without one. You can see the frustration on his face.
Yeah, I think he'll take pride and confidence from the assist, though. Very talented player.
Yeah, it was a fantastic ball forward, wasn't it, for Mane? He's always a good player to watch, João Felix. Wonderful skill. Little header down there towards Ayman Yaya. Referee's going to halt the game for a head injury.
And it's probably understandable why their level's just been a little bit off when you miss the likes of Ronaldo, Brozovic and Kingsley Coman, who's had a terrific season.
Yeah, he's been a really good signing, hasn't he, for the Saudi Pro League, Kingsley Coman. As you would expect, a player of his quality, a player who scored a winning goal in a Champions League final.
Oh, he's a brilliant player. Right in his prime as well. His ability and his attitude's been exceptional.
A hefty collision here. Of course, they need to take plenty of care to make sure the player's okay with a head injury. Quick run through of the Al Nassr side. Bento still keeping Al Akidi out in goal. Settled look about the back line. Ali Al Hassan there, number 19, making his second league start of the season, second match in a row. And they're missing Kingsley Coman today, and Cristiano Ronaldo as well. As if Coach Carreño's not going to need to make a change with Ahmed Al-Siyahi able to come back in the game, and he's on the pitch, and he and his teammates with some defending to do here. Ball hasn't actually gone off. Half of their home defenders thought the ball had spun out of play there. Back into Felix. Not easy to get out from underneath his feet. They're all roaring at the official on the near side, claiming there should have been a flag. Simakan, the covering defender here, up against Teddy Oku. Back into Abdullah Al-Khaibari, trying to get away from Ayman Yahya. He was quite hands-on there.
Home side have to be a tad more aggressive in terms of when they haven't got the ball, but at the same time showing that belief that they can get the game back to 1-1. They'll try and go forward with a purpose.
It's only the 6th time Al Nassr have played away to Al Riyadh in the Saudi Pro League in the last 25 years. One of the more regular fixtures. Away by Felix. Simakan sort of hobbling a bit at the moment. Barbet stayed up. It's with Felix now. Sergio Gonzalez had tried to go with him.
Great ball.
Ayman Yahya able to collect and almost take it in his stride.
Great ball by Felix over the top. That recognised the space was there to ping that into the corner.
He wanted the return ball there but didn't get it, much to his evident disappointment. Al Ghanam, tidy little combination with Ayman Yahya. I think fair to say Abdul Rahman Garib got right underneath that one.
And he went for far too much power. He tried to smash the leather off the ball here. Sacrifice so much accuracy there. Just keep that one down, control it. Bottom right hand corner might have been the finish. Wild.
Long towards Toze. Got the free kick as well.
Protected the ball well. Al Nassr just diving in, thought he could get a touch on it, but protected it well and got the free kick. So he's got to make more of these opportunities, Al Riyadh. Just the wide free kicks. Toze will probably take it, but he's got to make sure he puts a good delivery in there.
Played in almost all of the league matches, Ali Al Hassan, this season, but only the second start. See Toze there. You can almost hear his brain whirring.
And he should be thinking penalty spot, 6-yard box. That should be the area he should be aiming for here. Too close. It's not a great free kick.
Easiest catch of the day for Bento. It's been a quiet one for him so far, Bento, for the most part. Angelo gets the free kick. He's really established himself in his second season, Angelo, hasn't he? The young Brazilian who they bought from Chelsea at the start of last season.
Yeah, he's got good ability, got good left foot, he's got nice balance. Classic type of game. If they do win the title, Al Nassr, you might not remember for a long time, so it's important that they get the job done. Take all 3 points.
This is Goku battling away, and the shots just beyond the angle of post and bar coming from Ismail Asoro.
Oku's been lively, when he's had the ball at his feet. It's very direct, he's really sharp, and then Oku took the shot from distance. Far away neither.
I mentioned that Angelo has really established himself in the Al Nassr team, and Toze whipping that one in. Challenged by Saad Al Nassr. That's going to be a free kick for Al Nassr. And the other player, the other young Brazilian, they sort of almost came as a pair, didn't they? Really, Wesley was the other one. And Wesley's played a reasonable amount this season as well. Not as much as Angelo in terms of starting. But he's gone off on loan to Real Sociedad, hasn't he, now in Spain? It's a good opportunity for him, Wesley, for the second half of the season. This is Mohamed Simaka. Al-Ghanab into Al-Hassan. That's Garib's bar, a pass forward. Sturdy challenge on Angelo, made by Mohamed Al-Khaibari.
Yeah, you just feel them when they up the tempo. Al Nassr, they've got that bit more quality. Good defending tackle.
He's played quite well, hasn't he, Al-Khaibari?
I think he's done all right, yeah. I think that ball in behind, I think when Angelo makes it, or it's Mane, or to the feet of João Felix, when they up the tempo, got a lot more quality Al Nassr that they're showing so far.
Well, looks like now Afal Bouchal is going to come on shortly. Keep an eye on that for you. 10 minutes into the second half as João Felix whips it in. Looked to me like Baku was fouled there as he tried to chase the ball as it was played out of the penalty area, which he was appealing to the referee about. Comes Angelo once more up against Osama Al-Bawadi, and Al-Bawadi with a chance to bring the ball away. A little bit of space in front of him too.
Now they've got to go for it. See, there's so many yellow shirts behind the ball now. If you've got the belief, which they haven't, then go backwards to try and keep hold of the ball. They've got to make more of that situation, show a little bit more urgency.
Barbet for Al Riyadh. Still just a one-goal game. This is Toze, forced back by Sultan Al-Ghanam. And ball.
Might be lucky, doesn't get a second yellow card.
I was going to say, he's already been booked, hasn't he? And we're going to see Abdullah Al-Khaibari to replace Ayman Yahya. So three Al-Khaibaris on the pitch now. To go with Abdullah Al-Khaibari, we have Abdullah Al-Khaibari and Mohammed. Two for the home team and now one for Al Nassr. Good challenge on Saad Al Nassr made by Osama Al-Bawadi. Chasing hard is Oku, covered by Martinez.
Never puts a foot wrong, does he, Martinez?
No, he's been a really good signing. He's sort of everything it sort of says on the tin with him, isn't it?
Yeah, his IQ's high because he knows the positions on the football pitch. He's good in the air, he can use the ball. Got a lovely left foot. I think him and Simakan make a good pair. Simakan's aggression.
Barbet forward, chased hard by Harun. Clearance made by Al-Ghanam. Tidy touch of Angelo. Felix sends it on. Al-Hassan to the near side. Angelo was looking for Sadio Mane and Sergio Gonzalez is there.
I just wonder at what point Al Riyadh start taking more chances and get more bodies forward. Game plan might be to stay in the game with 15-20 to go and commit more bodies forward and try and get it back to 1-1. That's the plan, don't go too behind then.
Al-Khaibari, the first substitution made by Jorge Jesus today. Abdullah Al Khaibari trying to send the ball in. Half an hour to go, just over. Al Riyadh hanging in the game, thumped away by Martinez with Teddy Oku right on his tail. Abdullah Al Khaibari with the throw. They got him back on loan from Al Ahly, who he moved to last summer. They've sent him back on loan for the rest of the season. Flighted from Borjan, and it'll just beat Jose.
I think he beat himself there because his touch wasn't particularly good. It was a good long ball from back to front, but his touch should have been a lot neater. What's the plan, boss?
Al Nassr.
I think the way the coaches ran down the line, they must be thinking about making a change, Al Riyadh.
So could do with a second goal just to give themselves a little bit of elbow room here. Still just one mistake away from dropping points potentially. Al Khaibari back in the team today off the bench. The last game against Al Khaloub was the first match all season he hadn't featured in. Al Ghanam and now Simakan.
Pace in that technical area. Or Jesus. He wants the second goal.
Comfortably taken by Abdullah Al Khaibari way to Al-Bawadi. Garib out-hustled. Referee was certainly in a good spot to see the challenge on him. That was comfortably tidied up by Simakan ahead of Sultan Harun.
Just not capable of finding that final ball, Riyadh. Very competitive at the back, middle of the park. It's that lack of quality at the top end of the pitch.
That's the story of their season. I think they're pretty well organised and they're got a decent structure, but it just breaks down further forward.
Which it shouldn't do really if you're playing any sort of passes under 20 yards. It's not that difficult to try and find a red shirt.
Martinez. Is Abdurrahman Garib, goal scorer Sadio Mane. We've seen plenty of scintillating performances from those in yellow so far this season. Up to this point today, it's not among their best. Not a vintage Al Nassr performance, but they won't worry too much should they claim all 3 points. But certainly they were runaway winners when the two sides met early in the season in the reverse fixture. 5-1 that day. It's going to be a substitution made shortly by the home side as they try to get back in the match. A little under half an hour remaining. Simakan up well. Triple substitution. Here comes Angelo, stroking it in towards Ali Al Hassan, who'd made the run. Triple change for the home side. Ismail Assoro goes off, Sultan Harun goes off.
2 lads on a yellow card. That might have been a factor.
And Abdullah Al-Khaibari as well. Now we're going to see Mamadou Sylla, who's their top scorer with 6 this season. Amar Al-Hafi, who's a fullback, and also Enes Salih, the 19-year-old Romanian who's on loan from Dallas for the rest of the season. And Al Nassr making a change. Nawaf Al-Bushal to replace Ali Al-Hassan. There we are, it's Al-Hassan. Back-to-back starts for him. There is now Al-Bushal. So we'll change then. A flurry of activity in the technical areas there.
Yeah, I think from Daniel Carrera, I think it was the right thing to do while the game's sitting at 1-0. Al Nassr have got the second or the third. He's tried to make positive changes while the game's only at 1. It's worth the gamble. It's worth now trying to get attacking players on who could potentially get them back into the game.
It gives them a bit more. Enes Salih, he's quite a livelier attacking player. Made his debut against Al Hilal in the last home game for 45 minutes. The pressure on Bento. Sylla's got a presence inside the box as well, a physical presence. Flag up on the far side. Enes Salih, by the way, said he made his debut against Al Hilal. It was effectively his second debut. He previously had a loan spell with the club, so he knows how it works at Al Riyadh and hopefully can slot straight in. Talking of which, that's what Nawaf Al-Bushal has done, slotting right in to the right back position, with Sultan Al-Ghanam moving further forward. Sadio Mane into Angelo. Moves away from the close attentions of Al-Siyahi. Here's Mane. Now Felix. Saad Al Nassr. Challenge there on João Felix, which the referee was looking straight at, was happy with, and it's a wild-looking shot from Mohamed Simakan.
Got to say the defender went straight through João Felix there, got nothing up the ball. It looked like a definite foul. And it is a foul.
Yeah, he just clattered his right leg there, didn't he, Mohamed Al-Khaibari? Well, midway through the second half, still a 1-goal game. But he got away with one there, Mohamed Al-Khaibari. Hefty challenge on João Felix. Easy header there for Angelo. This is Garib, who's always a busy player. By Martinez. There's not a lot's got past him today. Al-Bushal.
That's where Sylla has to be a presence, try and upset Martinez, try and beat him in the air once or twice, try and run the channels.
That was Sylla making his presence felt on Simakan. Garib. Plenty of yellow shirts venturing forward here, but
bad ball. I mean, it should have been a simple pass that straight into Mane's feet. missed him by about 5 yards.
Yeah, and then Tose's pass up to Silla. Couldn't hang on to it. Angelo. Mane makes a move into the middle, deflection carrying it behind for a corner kick.
Strange watching Al Nassr with no rhythm in the game. It's a problem that he's trying to fix, I think, with 20 to go. Oh, Jesus. Can't legislate for players giving the ball away.
Next two matches, Al Ittihad at home and then Al Fateh away for Al Nassr. Riyadh travel to take on Neon SC on Friday. Joe Felix swinging that one in. Important header away by Yohan Barbe. Riyadh looking to break. Tose beaten physically there by Angelo. Up against Barbe now. Finding Martinez. There'll be a free kick there. He's quite a handful, isn't he, Teddy Oku?
He's got something about him. When he gets the ball at feet, he's quite strong. Centre of gravity is low, he's quick.
Barbe tries to get them moving. Al-Bawadi. Need one good chance. Important header there by Simakan.
Better though. Better. You work the ball into a wide area. Oku showed good feet there and good delivery into the box.
Tose into Barbe's, but Al-Bawadi nearby. Al-Bawadi's playing on the left now, and Al Nassr's lead is pretty precarious at 1-0.
There's a bit of spark about the home side in the last couple of minutes.
Trying to nudge it into the box. Covered there by Saad Al Nassr.
Yeah, I think we are just making Al Nassr think here. Maybe the coach simplifying their game a little bit. Got wide players on the pitch, get out wide and put some crosses in, especially for Silla, who's good in the air. Now it's about the delivery.
Well, he's the man for the set play.
His technique normally is to try and whip the life out of every single set play. He's going to try and do the same here. Sometimes centre-backs just want it drilled in the air to go and attack. This can be low if you don't miss the first man.
Tose's delivery doesn't get it past Felix, and now Gary brings it away. That's Sadio Mane racing ahead, and a really important block there by the substitute Amar Al-Hafi.
I just think Tose overcomplicates that. He's almost trying to do a David Beckham corner, trying to really whip it and put loads of pace in it. Centre-backs just like a ball that stood up to the far post for them to go and attack.
Al-Khaibari for Al Nassr. Still just that one goal, scored 5 minutes before half-time. Sadio Mane. Saad Al Nassr can't find a way past Mohammed Al-Khaibari. There goes Angelo. Tracked by Al-Hafi, who's backed up there by Ahmed Al-Siyahi. And it will be a free kick. And the longer it goes on at 1-0, you just sense that as you suggested earlier on, that Al Riyadh, if they can keep it at 1-0 for the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes, they'll have a go, won't they?
That's it, that's the game plan, stay in the game. And then you cause a bit of anxiety. You can try and cause Al Nassr a bit of stress.
On his toes there to get there ahead of Silla. Throw Al Riyadh. Samar Al-Bawadi trying to send it in to Toze, who's dispossessed. Mane will chase and he will get there.
Offside. I think he was hoping João Felix would take another touch to allow him to try and arc his run, because he went early there. It's tight though. See, that relationship needs a little bit more work, João Felix and Mane. Try and get on the same wavelength. They should make it work, two intelligent players.
Last 15 minutes. It's a very easy one for Bento. Lots of time for Abdullah Al-Khaibri, Mohamed Simakan. Here's Martinez. As recently as last season was making 46 appearances for Barcelona, with many in the Champions League as well. They went to the semi-final last season. And Al Ghanam won't give up the chase, but it was Milan Borjan's ball all the way.
Not like ball, that. Puts Simakan under pressure.
Toze chasing.
Dealt with it well.
Well, it sounded painful. And it was.
I think he'll survive. Does well there, Simakan. Under pressure. I thought he might have tried to went for distance, but just sat Toze down. Really calm.
Worth noting as well the experience of Daniel Carreño, the head coach of Al Riyadh. Among his previous jobs, of which he's had quite a few, he was previously Al Nassr's head coach for a couple of years, 2012 to 14. They won the league with him at the helm in 2014.
His performance tonight.
Awkward looking one. Oh, rattling the bar. And it was Mane on the follow-up. And so close to 2-0.
What a ball in. What a delivery.
Al Riyadh survived that one as we head to the 80-minute mark in the match. Brilliant skill from João Felix, but pulled back for a foul.
He's had a couple of corners from that side, João Felix, that he's whipped in. He's just guilty of using his body there. What a ball in.
Phenomenal. Sultan Al Ghanam with the header. He was so unlucky to hit the inside of the post and then see the ball bounce out.
He can't do much more than that. He got the flight of the ball and Ghanam just couldn't finish it off.
Ref cam there taking us to the heart of the action. still he paces.
Well, I think he'll be very honest, as he normally is, Jesus, in his assessment of his team's performance. Arganam's very unlucky there as he flicks that one on.
Inside the last 10 minutes of the game, still pretty tight. Interesting that Al Riyadh, one place above the relegation zone, held Al Hilal to a 1-1 draw in the last home game, and they've only conceded one so far against Al Nassr as well. Al Nassr, the highest scorers in the league, much better than when they last played them, and they leaked 5 goals back in on match day 3. Here's João Felix trying to tee up a teammate here. Back out with Al-Khaibari, and now Martinez. Al-Hafi with the block. Little day off made by Enes Salih on the far side. Salih's quick-witted and quick-footed. Here he is, the Romanian. He's making a beeline for that box there. What a lovely little ball through. And lashed into the back of the net, but Jose knows what's coming next.
Offside, just.
Much more like it.
That's what they have to do. 9 minutes left on the clock. Just play with more urgency.
He was a mile off though, wasn't he, in the end? But great play by Enes Salih.
It was a positive play. The only thing they can do from here, Al Nassr, is make sure you secure the 3 points. Average performance.
And they're not there yet. Here's Mamadou Silla. Block made by Mohamed Simakan.
Excellent defending.
He's holding that right knee.
Yeah, he might have just stretched a couple of ligaments there as he put the block on. I like the way he's patient here, doesn't dive in, just waits for the opportunity. Centre forward's got his head down, now commit, now put your body on the line.
Not quite sure what happened with his right knee there.
The referee suggesting that he might be okay.
The Al Nassr bench, which just in the background there also includes Haider Abdul Karim, the player from Iraq, the new signing from Al Zawra. May have to wait for his debut. First time he's been involved today on the bench.
Jose's going to go for the same delivery, and when you try and whip a ball in, the normally flights low. Honestly, he should know this. You're never going to flight that long when you try to whip the ball in as hard and as low as he's trying.
It was almost like you knew what was going to happen there.
Well, I've been there myself, so now you've got to adjust. Let's see if he tries a different technique.
They sent it in. Oh, and it didn't quite fall for Teddy Oku in the middle. It was Barbet who got up really well.
It was a better ball in. That's what caused the chaos.
Barbet's header on just a little bit lower, and it might have been an opportunity for Teddy Oku.
That's how important, if it's wide free kicks or corners, that's how important the delivery is.
More activity down in the technical area with roughly 5 minutes to go. But they decided that Carreño's decided he doesn't want to make those changes yet. He actually looks like he's in two minds. Either that or the fourth official wasn't quite ready.
Al-Abzi might be one of them. Potentially might be coming on.
Khalil Al-Abzi. Well, not too much doubt about that one. I think we're We're almost talking meters rather than millimeters there. Good move though. Enes Salih, the instigator of that, for Al Riyadh. Don't forget you can vote for your man of the match, your player of the match, but via the QR code there on the bottom of your screen. Al-Bawadi. Free kick, the challenge by Al-Ghanam.
You might as well go for this now, Riyadh. You've got 5 minutes left on the clock. You've kept the game at 1-0. Might as well really go and commit.
So Al-Siahi goes off and Khalil Al-Absi is on. Al-Bawadi makes way to be replaced by Suleiman Hazazi, and he's a Saudi under-23 international. Is coming off the bench now for the 3rd match in a row, Al-Hazazi. Changes shortly for Al Nassr as well. Nader Al-Sharari is going to come on. Forward, Jose sends it forward. It's a chase for Enes Salih, goes herring after Nawaf Al-Bushal. There come a couple of changes now with Nader Al-Sharari coming on. Sultan Al-Ghanam making way. Second substitution, Abdurrahman Garib heading off, not quite as quickly as the referee would like, with Salim Al Najdi on for him. It's his 7th appearance of the season in the league. Al Najdi, all of them coming off the bench. 22-year-old. That's a leisurely stroll there from Garib. Hasn't had too many starts in the league this season. In fact, today only his 2nd league start. Most of his appearances have come off the bench.
It's just really important that they see it through now, Al Nassr, and make it 5 wins in a row. That's the best positive to come out of this game. They've not played well.
Away by Martinez, yeah, they just need to get over the line.
That's it.
Al Riyadh still sensing there might be an opportunity. They need to hurry up about it if there is, and that might have been it.
Half a chance.
Yeah, Enes Salih almost getting on the end of that.
That's what they can do though. A couple of minutes left on the clock is just work it into a wide area, get bodies in the box, put the ball in there.
It would have been a tight one for offside anyway, but just a hint of an opportunity. Bento currently heading towards the 3rd clean sheet in a row potentially. Get one against Al Town and Al Khaloud in the last 2 matches before this one. I wonder now if Al-Akidi is being kept out of the team. Nicely done by Sadio Mane. His goal that separates these 2 sides. Bit of pressure there on Al-Sharari, the substitute. Throw in, long, claiming a handball there against Simakan.
Yeah, for a handball.
As we go into a minimum of 4 additional minutes here at the end of this one. Launched in towards Sergio Gonzalez, covered there by Al Najdi, the substitute. That's his first touch since coming on. And the bounce takes it past Al-Harbi, and Angelo now is on his way with Mane there, and João Felix busting a gut to head up to the far post. And it was a disappointing delivery, and Mane looks mightily unimpressed.
So does João Felix as well, because you had two players to pick out, one on the edge of the box in Mane, one to the far post, and João Felix.
That was a really disappointing final ball, wasn't it, after he'd run all that way from Angelo.
It just gives the home side a bit of a glimmer to try and score one late on.
Yeah, glimmer's the word, I think. Nothing more than that for them. Gonzalez there looked as if he'd headed the ball inadvertently in the wrong direction.
I think he was trying to pick out a teammate, knowing he probably couldn't score.
Barbet sending it up to the edge of the box. There's Salih chasing hard. Toze has it. Knows to be jangling a bit here for Al Nassr. Are we going to have some late drama? Salih trying to bring it under control. Kick.
Look at this tackle. They're finishing the game well. Finishing the game well.
I'm not going to get a penalty for that. Now, has Toze got a terrific corner in him between now and the final whistle? We're about to find out. Sergio Gonzalez got on the end of one early in the game. Can he do the same here? No, it's a great catch for Bento.
Great goalkeeping. It's exactly what you want. I'd imagine Simican or Martinez would have had a word with the goalkeeper and told him, come for this one, come on, take the pressure off.
Well, here goes Angelo again. And once more it's Mane and Felix who are up with him. And again the pass doesn't quite find either of them, but it's fallen at the feet of Sadio Mane, who doesn't celebrate a second goal because the flag goes up.
He's a little bit unlucky. Couldn't get himself back on side. Just off.
The officials quick with the right call there. Sharp finish though from Mane. No Ronaldo today then for Al Nassr, but it looks increasingly as though they are going to get over the line in this game.
And they need to, because as it stands, they're sitting top.
Maybe time for one last chance for the home side.
See if he can launch it in there.
Suleiman Hazazi with the throw, the substitute. High and long and looping, queuing up to get rid of it. Mane will chase, and Mohamed El Khaibri looked a little unsure, and here goes Sadio Mane for 2-0, and he's challenged there.
What a tackle, what a tackle.
It's left Mane on the ground, but Al Riyadh with one final attack. There is a player down in each of the penalty areas at the moment. Both teams effectively playing with 10. And the referee is saying, no, it's not the end of the game, but the physios can come on and check on both of these players.
And at the same time, he'll just make sure that he gets information from the VAR team that it was a clean tackle. It looked like a clean tackle in real time.
Let's have a look here.
Look at this tackle.
Looks like he caught the back of his foot there, possibly.
I actually thought in real time he got the ball there, but not sure.
Mane will be rather hoping that he might get a penalty kick out of that, one would think.
Well, this could be the beauty of VAR, because as the referee was trying to catch the play up, and even in first angle I thought the tackle from the defender, VAR might see it a different way and give Al Nassr a penalty here.
Well, that's what they're checking, as we can see, and we wait for the verdict on that. Oh, good to see him. Sadio Mane's picked himself up and is back on his feet.
Gonzalez is just asking the question of a penalty at the other end. I'm not sure there was, so double pen check here.
Yeah, of course, there was the aerial collision at the other end of the field. The ref's going to have a look, which means we might finish with a penalty kick here at the end of this match.
It either looked like a penalty to me, it looked like the tackle on Mane. That one there.
It's yeah.
They'll double check whether it's on the line, which is inside the box. And it is. And this will be given.
Clearly gets in challenging for the ball, just looks as though he kicks Mane's foot.
Yeah, that's the angle.
Fractionally before he gets the ball.
Well, that's the beauty of VAR, you know. Seeing that in real time when you're commentating on it, I thought, fantastic tackle. Seeing it again, it looks like a penalty.
Yeah, brought to the referee Khalid Al-Taraisi's attention by Mohammed Al-Ghamdi and the team in the VAR hub. Here comes the decision from the referee. No penalty, says referee Al-Tarais.
I'm stunned at that.
Well, he had a good look. And the decision was that it was a fair challenge by the defender, who does get the ball, but clearly looks as if he got Mane's foot. This will be the angle that really shows it, I think, there. So when we go at 1-0, this, I think, was the disallowed goal from Sadio Mane, from which he was offside.
Either way, there should be seconds left on the clock.
I think fair to say that under the circumstances, Al Nassr are inching towards 3 points here. Hazazi's underneath it. Well, there's barely any time left here. The whistle in the mouth of the referee, and Al Nassr get the job done. Far from vintage, but they won't worry about that, because Al Nassr claim all 3 points, and for the time being it takes them back to the top of the Roshn Saudi League, just ahead of Al Hilal on goal difference. And Sadio Mane, the man who scored the goal that won the game, and a very fine one it was too, 5 minutes before half-time. He thought he'd have a penalty at the end, but the referee on review said no. It's finished. Al Riyadh 0, Al Nassr 1.